Greetings, programs. This is Wretch, and welcome back to Minecraft. Now, in the last episode, we did a chasm expedition, and I said I was heading to the jungle biome to start our next project, guys, but I think we need to sit down and have a little chat here. We're actually at the jungle biome. The jungle biome is just a little bit down that way. However, it does present a very interesting challenge in terms of recording. The reasoning why is my computer isn't exactly a high-end piece of machinery, and it is very, very laggy when I go into the jungle. I think you saw a little bit of that the last time that we were in there, and just because of all the chunks having to load and all the stuff going on there with the continuous growing of vines, it can get a bit hairy, and I really don't think I want to build in there now, just because I don't really want to deal with it. However, I think I have a backup plan, a backup build, and it's going to be a pretty good sized one. I just have to find the right location for it. And I've been looking around, and what is that up there? Oh, that's kind of cool. Look at that flat entrance cave. Ooh. May have to do a little bit of exploring. But actually, I think this area that we're at may not be that bad. For our purposes, let's head up here. Need a pretty decently flat area, and chances are good I'm going to have to flatten that, or flatten a good portion of this space. But what I'm thinking of building is I got a little bit inspired by going to Acon this past week. And I'm thinking something Asian would look really cool. Just have to find the right location, and I think I found one. Where this kind of formation is, I think would be a really cool location to have some sort of Japanese style castle or such. I think it may work. Oh, we got some of these floating islands. But let's take a look at this generalized location. This is a very interesting rock outcropping. Now, we've got some snowy spruce forest over here, and I nearly fell into lava. That would have been a tragedy. And we got some more grassland over here. Let's actually try and get some high ground. Much like a villager. Just have to find the perfect building spot. And I want this to be a pretty big build, guys, I have to say. This will definitely has the potential to blow the adobe house completely out of the water in terms of size. Now, this is a extreme hills biome, so there's emeralds. I threw a pork chop. Got pumpkins and plenty of cows, so we don't have to worry about food. Beef will be provided. Moo indeed. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this would be the best location for it. I want something kind of like when you go over that hill in the mesa biome and see that adobe house and it just pops. I want a similar building site for this Japanese style castle I'm going to build, or at least the tower, at least the main portion. I don't know if I'm going to do walls or such, but I'm thinking, oh, hello there, Enderman. There's also been something else I've considered doing, to tell you guys the absolute truth. I have actually never in this game, and I played this game for a while, I have never actually taken on the Ender Dragon. And I have the materials to do such. So I think we have two options in front of us. One, we can go ahead and try and find the build, a good build location, and go from there. Or I can try and head back to spawn and use these ender pearls along with the make a portal into Nether at spawn and start trying to find the fortress, the end fortress, and basically start trying to get to the end. We have enough diamond to make some good diamond armor, and taking on the Ender Dragon. But I don't know. I really don't know what to do here, because there's so many new games coming out. I kind of want to I either want to commit to a new building project here on Minecraft, and I know a lot of people really enjoyed the Adobe build, and I'm very appreciative of that. Or we can take on the Ender Dragon and call it a day with this series and move on to something else. That's a really interesting thing about having a YouTube channel, is pretty much the world is your oyster. You just have to decide, you know, what oyster to bite into. Actually, it's not so much an oyster, it's your own, like, buffet. And you have to decide what to eat and when. And if you potentially get tired of one particular type of entree, there's plenty of other entrees to sample from. I do like this rock outcropping. But let's keep going. See if we can find something else. We've got one cooked pork chop left and... ew, nothing else. So let's take a quick breather to resupply. And let's throw the cooked pork chop down right there. Now, I was going to do that super treehouse for the jungle biome. Part of me is also considering just grabbing a whole bunch of jungle saplings and building the treehouse like out here in the middle of nowhere, or like in another type of forest except for a jungle. I don't think that would particularly work out though. Oh, hey guys, I did not notice that there were donkeys nearby. Excuse me. Well, that's good to know. And oh, what a horrible way to go. 19. Yeah, I think 19 will do. Do I even have a furnace? No, I got rid of everything, didn't I? To make room for all of this. Whatever I do, I'm going to have to commit. I'm going to have to commit to it and go for it 110%. Because I can't really just kind of do it and then drop it. I can't stand when people don't finish projects. I actually keep on thinking about stuff I could have added to the Adobe house, and it still bugs me to this day that I didn't get around to finishing that up. Now, we may at least do the little bit of improvements. They're little minor aesthetic things. They're nothing like with the build itself or the foundation. Mostly furniture and stuff on the wall. Well, there's a horse here. Let's just keep on exploring. Where are we going? We are going further into the negatives. It's about to be dark soon. I haven't gone past the jungle biome, so everything past the jungle is unexplored territory for me. Get some sleep there with our horse friend in the distance. And we're going to have to find a place to camp for a little bit to cook these pork chops, because I don't want to use all of my carrots. There's been another build that's been running through my head, and it's kind of one of those lost projects that I really wanted to finish, but I couldn't for whatever reason. I'm going to eat just a few raw pork chops, just so I can run here. I played on a multiplayer server for quite a little bit with some friends of mine and acquaintances, and I was building basically a replica of one of the Alliance castles from World of Warcraft, and I was about halfway, actually I was more than halfway done. I had gotten the outer, like the skeleton fixed, and I was about to have everything done with the exterior of the build, and then the people who were running it just decided they didn't want to run the server anymore and shut it down. So that build kind of went the way of the dodo. I could always kind of rediscover that and be kind of a nice bit of closure. You just have to find a good building spot for it. And that is a big build too. Holy crap. It's going to take a lot of spruce and a lot of stone. But, oh, we're right next to the jungle biome. I think maybe we could pull it off if we just find the right spot. That's always the key. You can try and build whatever you want, but you just have to find that perfect spot, short of actually building the spot yourself, and that's always a bit of a pain. Hello there, lava pool. Let's get some aerial perspective. We got a huge spruce forest, and that's good because I'd actually be using spruce if I wanted to do that build. And more extreme hills. Yeah, let's see what's over here, and then that's going to be my final determination on what I'm going to do here. Because I suddenly remembered that alliance build, and which is kind of weird considering the fact I played almost exclusively Horde when I played WoW. But I think this would look kind of cool. It's like out here in the middle, or up here in the mountains. There's plenty of, look, there was chickens, we've got sheep, we've got cows, got plenty of green land that we can plant crops. Ooh, I heard a teleporting Enderman. Maybe over here would be good. Nice little open spot. We've got these hills over here. And I think this space could be flattened pretty easily. Cows as far as the eye can see. And more forest over here. We got a few sunflowers. And more over here. I think this might be the build site, guys. But I'm still debating whether to do it down here or up there on the hill. I think up on the hill would look a little bit more majestic. That's not the right word I'm looking for. Intimidating, because it is a castle. It's supposed to be a fortified structure. So maybe up here. Hello, zombies. I hear you. I hear your moans of loneliness. So, let's see how much space we have to flatten out here. Because I think we could go ahead and put it like right along here with maybe a stairway going down. A lot of options. Well, I know one thing we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and set up camp here. Because I think this might be the best spot for it. And who knows, I might actually build a village or some such. So right here near the water looks like a good place to set up. So let's put down the bed. And using our mighty diamond pickaxe, we will gather what we need for a furnace. Actually, I think we are going to need a lot more than this. Because I forget, I'm probably going to be mining a good portion of these extreme hills for cobble. Because I'm going to need a ton of cobble, or cobble for brick. But first off, let's go ahead and get our initial furnaces. I don't know how many I'm going to need. Let's get 48 stone here. There we go. And we'll set all of our furnaces here in this empty spot. And I need a workbench. we are starting from ground zero here. And the first tree to be sacrificed. Well, I'll tell you what, we need to go ahead and pretty much commit to this build, right? Well, if we're going to commit to the build, there's one surefire way of doing that, and that is right here. Bam. We have set the ender chest, so we have access to all of our diamonds and such. Now we're stuck here. And we'll put the bed right there in that little alcove. And cool, we got our first sapling, which we will sit there. Grab the spruce. And the thing about it is, and it's going to make this build pretty difficult, is I'm actually going to be having to use the wood by itself without turning it into planks for the foundations to the building. So that's going to be tons of fun, let me tell you. We'll put a chest right there. First off, let's get our first workbench set. And don't really need a boat at the moment. There we go. Now, let's use this cobble. And I think we can make 6. If I don't miss my guess. Yeah, 6 furnaces. And we'll stack them on top of each other. Oop. 2, 3. There we go. And we have some wood left. And we will make some chests. And then we will have basically base camp 1 for our new build. Now the primary question is, let's go ahead now. No, let's not get the tree farm set up just yet. Now we will cook the pork. And okay, we still have some coal. That's good. We'll do that before we start starving. Let's put a lot of this. Put the lapis and our diamonds. That's going to make another block, so that's good. More redstone. Oh wow, I didn't leave the slime balls over there, did I? Right now, that'll be good for our purposes, because I'm going to have to mine some coal and some other stuff, because we need to break down all of that iron and that gold that we got earlier. So an alliance base, I don't know, maybe the alliance base or the Japanese castle. Alliance castle or Japanese castle, guys. I want your input. And I will be starting the build on Monday. Yeah, see this nice open space right here. This is going to be where it's going. I'll have to fill up all of these holes and whatnot. I won't have much in terms of a basement. But yeah, I think this will definitely be the spot. So let's start mining some coal. And I have plenty of diamonds for another pick. I'm not worried about that at all. I wasn't that concerned with the Ender Dragon, so I think we'll save that when I finally get tired of the game and don't want to do. I was like, I don't want to do any more builds. And then we can just move on. So last night, the missus and I went and saw Jurassic World. And it wasn't bad at all. I went in with very low expectations, because you cannot beat the first Jurassic Park. You really can't, because it was the first of its type. So it kind of broke a mold. Everything else is just kind of trying to recreate that Jurassic Park vibe, and it's very, very hard to do. And they tried, but in terms of how good it was, I'd probably say it was the second best Jurassic Park movie. I know a lot of people, in terms of the Jurassic Park movies, I know some people either love or hate the other two, and mostly it goes toward the latter. Most people hate the other Jurassic Park movies. I actually did not mind Jurassic Park 3. I think that's because the guy who plays Grant, Alan Grant, I forgot his name for the life of me. But he adds that bit of gravitas to the whole situation. He's that like proper actor who can explain, you know, kind of give you the how serious the situation is. The Lost World, I wasn't that big of a fan of, and it wasn't because of Jeff Goldblum or anything like that. I love Jeff Goldblum. He's so his acting is so wonderfully quirky. But it just didn't come off to me like a Jurassic Park movie. It was just a monster movie that happened to have Jurassic Park, you know, in the title. And this is kind of what Jurassic World is. It has its monster movie moments, but it also kind of taps into that wonder. Chris Pratt plays the lead. And I'll tell you what, if this movie did anything for me, it did let me know that Chris Pratt would do a good job, I think, playing Indiana Jones. If they decided to retcon the series, which I actually hope they don't. They need to start having original ideas again in movies and Hollywood. But if they decided to do that, or maybe an Indiana Jones style franchise, I think Chris Pratt would do a very good job. He gives off that indie swagger, which is very hard for, I've noticed, for a lot of actors to do these days. To have that ego, but at the same time that likability, and that's very hard to pull off, I think. And Chris Pratt does that very, very well. And he did it as Star-Lord as well. And I think he could pull it off. The thing about it is you're not going to get a whole lot of original ideas in Hollywood anymore, because they don't know how to advertise, or at least it comes off to me. Please correct me if you think I'm wrong. But a lot of people that I've noticed, they just do not know how to market. Oop, I put in the wrong spot. There we go. They don't know how to market a whole lot of this stuff. A prime example of that was Tomorrowland. I watched Tomorrowland, and I thought that was a pretty good little popcorn film that did what it, you know, gave its message without being preachy, and was fun. But it bombed in the box office because I don't think they knew how to properly advertise it. And that's one of the reasons that it tanked. And let's get this iron dealt with first and foremost. And from how I understand it, the Tomorrowland debacle is one of the primary reasons that Tron 3 is not being made, because the sci-fi kind of futuristic thing they get scared. And I can understand that because of how much money they invest in it, but if you're going to have something like that, you need to advertise it to the nines, because I didn't see a whole lot of advertisements for Tomorrowland. I don't think they knew what kind of movie that they were dealing with. It's kind of like The Princess Bride. The Princess Bride didn't do, I mean, it did well in theaters, but didn't do as well as it could have, because the people in charge of the studios didn't know how to market it as an adventure, as a comedy, as a romance. I mean, it's all of those things, but that kind of confuses people, I guess. All right, well, but in other words, Jurassic World, decent movie, could have been a lot worse, and give it a watch. Let me know what you guys thought about it. But I think I'm going to let this iron cook, and I think that's going to be it for today, guys. We kind of have our guiding star. We know where we're going to build. We just don't know exactly what we're going to build. And I'm going to need some input, whether you guys want an Alliance keep or a Japanese-style castle. So just go ahead and let me know in the comments below. And if you like the episode, go ahead and click like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. That'd be a big help to me. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.